Have you ever felt like life is unfair? You work harder than anyone else, but the reward never comes. You give your love freely, but end up alone. You do what is right, yet somehow the world punishes you instead of rewarding you. It feels cruel, doesn't it? Like the universe has chosen you to carry pain while others walk free. And in those quiet moments when nobody sees your struggle, you whisper to yourself, "Why me? Why is life so unfair?" If that is you right now, I need you to stay with me. Because what feels like the most unfair season of your life may, in fact, be the very foundation of your greatest strength. Sometimes what looks like punishment is actually preparation. Sometimes the storm that tries to break you is the same storm that makes you unshakable. Let me take you back to the year 1985. Steve Jobs was only 30 years old. He was brilliant, passionate, and had already built Apple into one of the fastest-growing companies in America. To the outside world, he looked untouchable, a genius at the top of his game. But behind closed doors, things were falling apart. The board of directors had grown tired of his intensity. The same company he had built from nothing, the same people who had celebrated him as a visionary, now saw him as a problem. And in a single meeting, his life changed. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple. Imagine that for a moment. The company you created, the dream you poured your entire soul into, suddenly says to you, "We don't need you anymore." Jobs later admitted that he was devastated. He said, "I didn't see it then, but getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." At the time, though, it felt like the end of his world. He was humiliated, rejected, lost. Most people would have quit right there. Most people would have said, "Life is unfair. I gave everything, and this is what I get." But Steve Jobs did not quit. Instead, he started again. He built a new company called Next. He took a chance on a small animation studio called Pixar. At first, nobody believed in him. People laughed. They said he was finished, a man who had peaked too early. But then, years later, Pixar released Toy Story, the first fully 3D animated film. It changed cinema forever. And in 1997, something remarkable happened. Apple was in trouble, on the edge of collapse. The same company that once threw him out came back and asked him to return, not just as an employee, but as the leader. The man they rejected became the man who saved them. From that comeback, the iMac was born, then the iPod, then the iPhone, and the world would never be the same again. The humiliation of being fired did not destroy him. It defined him. What looked like the most unfair moment of his life became the spark that ignited his legacy. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that life will be unfair. You will be betrayed by people you trusted. You will face rejection in places where you gave your best. You will work hard and sometimes see nothing in return. But unfair does not mean hopeless. Unfair does not mean meaningless. Unfair simply means you are being pushed into a moment of growth you cannot yet see. Think about it. Without resistance, muscles do not grow. Without fire, gold cannot be purified. Without storms, the sailor never learns how to command the ship. It is the same with you. The very struggle you are facing may look like a punishment, but what if it is preparation? What if it is the thing that will shape your strength, deepen your character, and sharpen your purpose? You see, unfairness is not the end of your story. It is a chapter. And sometimes the hardest chapters are the ones that lead to the most unforgettable endings. The next time you whisper, "Why me?" I want you to try a different question. What now? Because that is where your power begins. Not in what happened to you, but in how you choose to respond. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Her first boss said she did not belong on screen. Imagine if she had believed that. Instead, she kept going. She kept speaking with passion, with heart, and with courage. Today, she is one of the most influential women in the world, not just in media, but in culture, in leadership, and in hope. Michael Jordan, the man many call the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his high school team. For a teenager who dreamed only of basketball, that felt like the end. He could have walked away. He could have said, "Life is unfair." But instead, he trained harder than anyone else. He stayed on the court when others went home. He built greatness out of rejection. And history remembers him not for the coach who doubted him, but for the championships, the victories, the fire that could not be stopped. J.K. Rowling was a single mother living on welfare, rejected by 12 publishers. They all told her, "This story will never sell." But she refused to give up. She kept writing, kept believing. And today, Harry Potter has touched millions of lives around the globe. But it is not only the famous. It is the single mother in Ohio working 2 jobs and studying late at night so she can create a better life for her children. It is the immigrant who arrives in America with nothing but a dream, cleaning floors or working night shifts, step by step building a new beginning. It is the veteran who comes home wounded and broken, but chooses to keep fighting, not on the battlefield, but in the daily battles of life. Unfairness touches everyone, the famous, the ordinary, the strong, the struggling. But so does the choice to rise again. So what do we do when life feels unfair? We stop asking, "Why me?" And we start asking, "What now?" Because the first question traps you in the past. The second question pushes you into the future. You cannot control every event in your life. You cannot stop the betrayals, the losses, or the storms. But you can control how you respond. And in that choice lies your greatest power. You can let unfairness make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let pain harden your heart, or you can use pain to deepen your compassion. You can see the storm as a punishment, or you can see it as training ground for the strength you are meant to carry. Think about it. Diamonds are created under pressure. Gold is refined in fire. The oak tree grows strong not because the winds are gentle, but because the winds are fierce. It is the same with you. Life's unfair moments are not walls meant to stop you. They are doors, and the key to opening them is your refusal to give up. So yes, life is unfair. It always has been, and it always will be. But that does not mean you are powerless. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every rejection is redirection. Every ending is also the seed of a new beginning. One day, you will look back at the season you are in right now. The tears, the silence, the closed doors, and you will realize something you could not see in the moment. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. The unfair moments are not here to define you. They are here to refine you, to sharpen your vision, to stretch your faith, to shape the person you were always meant to become. So when life feels unfair, do not break. Do not quit. Do not surrender your story, because the very thing you thought would destroy you may become the very thing that defines you. Stand tall. Keep moving forward. Your future is still waiting, and your story is not over. In fact, it is only just beginning. Before you leave, I want you to do 3 things. First, share this video with someone who feels like life is against them right now. Your share could be the reason they keep going. Second, comment below and tell me about a time when life felt unfair and what you learned from it. Your story might inspire someone else. And third, if you found value here, subscribe to this channel. Because every day we share powerful lessons to remind you that no matter what you face, you are undefeatable.